Let's imagine Bill and Jane are strapped to the top and bottom of this Sky Chef's container. Bill can only see what's above the container, and Jane can only see things that are below it, because the physical structure of the container is their horizon. Let's say the center of the container is directly aligned with the center of the much larger airplane. Bill and Jane can both see their own half of the airplane minus the width of the container itself, which they cannot see around. With me so far? Okay, now I'm going to retain the size of the container, since it doesn't change for Bill and Jane as long as they're in the same proximity to it. But I'm going to move the much larger airplane many miles from them, although keeping it centered on the container, like it was before. So are Bill and Jane still able to see all of the airplane except for the center, like before? Of course not. Neither one of them can see any of that plane at all anymore. But wait, Mike. They must be able to see it because it's still much larger than the container they're on. Sorry, Charlie. Their horizontal lines remain the same parallel distance from each other and will never converge no matter how far away we move that plane. But the angular size of the plane will keep diminishing with distance, even till it gets down to a half a degree, which I can't even show you on this scale because you wouldn't see it. People, we have been duped all this time. Even if we accept, for argument's sake, that the Sun is 100 times larger than the Earth, its angular size is 229 times smaller than the Earth. And so the orange ball we see setting is 229 times smaller than the Earth we watch it set from, despite any actual size you want to attribute to each object. And just like Bill and Jane couldn't see this plane, which is actually much larger than their container, but appears 6 times smaller due to perspective, we couldn't possibly see the Sun from the top and or bottom of our Earth at many times smaller than this plane is to this container.
Okay, let's have a look at this nonsense put forth by Mike Boll. Not too hard to imagine Bill and Jane attaching a piece of string from the container to the plane. If the height of the container is 6 feet between Bill and Jane, the height between the string attached to the plane will also be 6 feet. So no matter how far we move the plane, the string will always represent Bill and Jane's line of sight. If we move the plane several miles away, we must illustrate or draw this perspective. The string and the line of sight of Bill and Jane would seem to appear to collapse together, as shown in the bottom diagram. Mike Boll's representation of this in the center is totally false. Again, it's easy to verify this perspective by simply looking down a railroad track, looking at a picture of a railroad track, or drawing it. It's a simple concept that anybody should be able to understand.